Realtors, one expense to save taxes that seems to get missed every time. So here's what I want you to hear. When you now get a Form 1099, which is going to be in January, which is going to show your gross commissions that were paid to you, what I want you to ask your broker for, or whoever your clearinghouse is, that they collected the dollars and they then paid the commission, okay? Were there any fees that you paid? Now follow me and just stay with me for at least another minute, okay? What were the fees that you paid? Because if your broker, or whatever they're called in your state, is doing it the way the IRS wants them to do it, that 1099 is going to show your commission before they deducted the fees and expenses that you had to pay or that ran through your broker. So what you've got to be super careful on, and you don't miss this one major item of expense that's going to save you a tremendous amount of money, depending on what it is do not forget to write those off. Now, how would that happen? Well, two things. You get the 1099, you go, well, that's a lot of transactions. I guess that number's correct. I'm assuming that they've put on this 1099 what my gross commissions are. And it would be then, yeah, it's correct. But what you've got to figure out is the amount on that form that you're reporting as gross income, is that the amount before they withheld expenses or after? Because here's the deal. If the amount on your 1099 is what they actually wrote you a check for, what they actually paid you, meaning you got paid this, they took their fees off, so you have a net amount. If that is what's on the 1099, then you didn't miss this expense. Now, we're not for hire, maybe if you live in Oklahoma City, but we're not for hire. So I'm not telling you this so that you will hire me, because I'm not for hire. I'm a CPA, been doing this 32 years. We work with a ton of realtors. My son joined the practice. All I'm saying is this. Every realtor that we've brought in as clients, and we work with a lot of them, that has been missed their entire career. And they just didn't realize it. They didn't realize that the 1099 was their gross commission, and that what got deducted is not reflected anywhere. So you've got to ask. Now, a lot of brokers may give you a statement at year end. You may have to ask for it, but be sure that you're asking this critical question. Is the amount on my 1099 the actual net amount, net of expenses and fees, what was paid to me, or is it the gross commission that I earned before your broker deducted their expenses? So for many, that can be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year. So let's just look at this really quick. Let me make sure, and then we're going to close this out. Okay, just for grins, let's go with this. Let's say that your gross commission was $148,600 right there, $148,600. So that would be what your 1099 most likely is going to show. But right here, your broker deducted $8,600. I'm just using simple math throughout the year. So your 1099 shows $148,600. Most realtors that we work with, they say, here's how much I made, and that gets reported as your gross income. The reality is that you were paid $140,000, again, with this right here, net paid $140,000. So you're reporting that as your income when you receive this, which means that by law, you get to deduct the fees that were deducted. If this is what your 1099 shows, then you need to deduct that to reflect properly what you were actually paid. So what happens is, if you're not doing that, then you have this deduction lost. You have a deduction lost. And I'm using a round figure. I'm taking into account self-employment tax, regular tax, maybe a state tax. But probably, just in this simple example, you've overpaid your taxes by $3,500 if you've missed out on taking that deduction. So let's be clear. If your 1099 shows 140, you don't get to deduct that again. You get to deduct this if your 1099 shows that because it doesn't reflect the deductions. So let's be clear on this and then we'll close this out. You want to pay the right amount of tax. No more, no less. And what that requires is ensuring that you're taking all the deductions that you can. And that's just one of the biggest and easiest things that get missed. All right, hey, so listen, in the body of this video, check out free resources. I'm going to be doing free seminars. I'm going to be traveling, talking to realtors. My wife's a realtor, as you know, and I'm just excited to be able to help. See, I'm putting together videos to help her group. You get to listen in. So with that, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. So hopefully I'll get to meet you. We're going to be heading to Boston and New York and Chicago and San Diego, going to Las Vegas 2 different times, Seattle, Houston, Troy, Atlanta, Orlando, and feel like I'm forgetting one. But anyways, we're going to be traveling around, going to be doing seminars to CPAs, but we're going to do free seminars to realtors. Why? I'm helping my wife. I'm helping her group. We're just inviting people to then be a part of that. So stay tuned. With that, have a great one.